And what's doing, guys? Back from the fresh final review. Today we're doing the Bandai Shin Godzilla from Shin Godzilla, the 2016 Toho film, just released July 29th in Japan. At the time of this recording, it is out August 2nd. Only, a few days after the movie came out. Okay, so I really want to talk about the movie. But we're not. I'm going to save that for a different point in time, okay? But we're going to talk about the figure. I'm going to try to keep it to that. I'm going to try not to talk spoilers as best as I possibly can, but we're just going to try to talk about the figure. So, okay, figure came out, what is it? It came out in July, just before G-Fest. So, we were selling these at G-Fest, okay? At Mike Johnson's table, we had them. A couple other dealers had them. Symphonic Fury, Dutch, John DeSantis, and Chris Olio, they were selling them, okay? A bunch of guys that went to Japan to go see the movie, they picked them up. It's a theater exclusive, which we'll talk about eventually when I get it, okay? Bam. So, the figure was just released just about 2 weeks to 2.5, 3 weeks before the movie came out. First chance we all get to get a good look at what Godzilla looks like, aside from pictures and video trailers from the internet. So, this is my first Shin Godzilla figure, okay? I like the design for the most part. I don't know, did we talk about that at any other point in time? I can't remember right now. So, the figure itself, it stands about 7 inches tall. It's part of the movie monster series, Shin Godzilla. It is the first Japanese Godzilla figure we've had since Godzilla Final Wars. I'm not really counting the Bandai Godzilla 2014 because that's an American Godzilla. So, for everybody that knows what the design looked like, you know, Godzilla is drastically different from anything we've ever seen before. Gone are, you know, again, I'm trying just to focus on the figure, so you guys know what I'm saying, right? Good, you know what I mean. Because I really want to talk about the movie, but I can't, not yet, and I'm not ready to. I mean, I want to. I really want to. Anyway, so the figure. Let's see, G-Fest, it was $40. I'm going to talk about this right now because I was talking about this on the Monster Zero forums earlier today. Figure at G-Fest was running about $45, okay? Oh my God, you can get the figure from such and such retailer for $15. Okay, bear with me here for a minute. If you buy the figure from Hobby Search, Ami, Hobby Link Japan, let's use Hobby Link Japan because I got the information off the top of my head right here. If you go Hobby Link Japan, the figure was listed at 1,600 yen, which is about $13 and some change. If you choose to ship it EMS, that's 1,700 yen. So when I added up the total with the 1,600 yen, the 1,700 yen for shipping EMS from Japan, you were at about $33, okay? $33. So, if you go to G-Fest and you buy this for $40 for like $7 more, you didn't have to go online and pre-order it. You didn't have to worry about shipping. You didn't have to do anything except go to G-Fest and buy the figure in hand, okay? So, $40 for this figure at G-Fest is a good deal if you're asking me. So, I'm going to talk about it. You know, so some people might say, oh, $40 is a lot of money, or $45 a lot of money. You know, I'm going to defend the dealers here. I am not a dealer. I like working in the dealer's room and helping dealers out, okay? But everybody has to factor in that in order to get these toys, be it Bandai's X Plus SH Monster Arts, the dealer has to buy them. And then the dealer has to get them to G-Fest. And then the dealer has to pay for a table to put said toys on the tables so when you guys walk through the dealer's room and you touch everything that's on the tables, you know, that's how they get there. Okay, so that costs money. It costs money to ship a case of Bandai's from Japan to a dealer's home, and then more money to ship said case from dealer's home to Chicago. Tables cost money in the dealer's room. So if a dealer is selling this figure for $40 factoring in shipping twice, paying for the figure up front. Really, think about, they're not really making that much profit on said figure, okay? Now, yeah, if you buy a case from Bandai, but they're probably not paying $15 each figure. I don't know, but I can tell you right now, you guys got to think about these things before, somebody, I'm not saying everybody out there is, but I've seen them, the dealers in the dealer's room overcharge and they're ridiculous. No, think about it before you open your mouths, okay? Good. Glad I got that out of the way. Aren't you? Good. All right, so let's get back to the figure. That's what we're here for. I'm babbling about other things and stuff. So, Shin Godzilla, he is sporting mostly black, dark charcoal skin tones with the red glow highlights that we have seen from the trailers and promotional stills and whatnot from the movie. Okay? So, he's got the crazy design, lava-like skin. He's got all wrinkles and flowing whatnot and stuff. He's got the little beady arms. Okay, so one thing about the arms is that they've been sculpted for this figure from Bandai in a more of a traditional Godzilla pose. Okay, I kind of wish they were the up hands. The palms facing the sky. That's how everything I've seen in the movie, his hands are. So Bandai went, they put the hands like normal, what we're used to. So, it is what it is. It's fine. Not a big deal, but, I mean, if you want to put the arms, you could make them like that, but now it looks like he's like, ugh. No, that doesn't look right. So just leave them like normal, okay? So, the arms are little beady arms, T-Rex arms. The legs are sculpted nicely, and then we got the way his feet are designed for this figure. Those look pretty good. He's more up on the front end of his toes, and the more, his heel is not on the ground for this design, okay? So that looks pretty cool for the figure, and I dig it. It doesn't really bother me. I'm more of a question like, how does he support his, large body and frame on more of the, the front of his foot? Hope he's got good, good walking shoes. The chest is all painted glowy red and scaly and whatnot, so that looks good. Dorsal plates. I really dig the dorsal plates. They're kind of a traditional... Actually, they are traditional dorsal plates. They're more of a mix of the 54 and the Heisei series style dorsal plates. I mean, they are jagged and everything. But not as jagged as the 54s, but also not as well defined as the Heisei series, okay? So those look good, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of dorsal plates. That's a really a first, especially with these kind of dorsal plates. Large, all defined like that. So we've never had 5, and they go right up to the back of his head over here. Okay, so the face looks sculpted pretty good. He's all mushroom cloud looking like. If you look at the eyes, it's really hard to capture on film or camera. You're not going to see it here in the video, but look at the picture. It almost, there is a pupil faintly painted in there, in that little beady eyeball, okay? So that is there. Everything, the teeth are, painted a little bit white. The inside of the mouth is mostly left, charcoal gray and black. So that looks adequate. Now let's talk about the tail. We got arms, legs, face, neck. Yeah, all that stuff. Okay, let's talk about the tail. Godzilla's tail is really, really long for this design. It took a little getting used to at first. I'd say the tail, it's probably about, 2/8 longer than normal. But, I've gotten used to it. It doesn't really bother me to set the length of the tail anymore. And that's very well replicated here in the figure, okay? And it's sculpted nice. There's a lot of grooves and whatnot here along the tail. And as far as the spikes on the tail, this is something different we've never seen before. They're really like just jagged spikes, away with the dorsal plates here on the back. And, the little smaller, secondary dorsal plates that we've traditionally seen, they're more just like spikes up here, okay? And then the spikes, they kind of flow out towards the tip of the tail. And then the tip of the tail, we have this cigar-like mutation going on here. It's skeletal looking, it's mutilated looking, it looks horrible. We're gonna drop a little spoiler here, so if you don't know what I'm going at with the tail, either press the mute button or just stop watching entirely. Spoiler coming in 5, 4, 3, 1. Oh, what happened to 2? 2, 1. Okay, Godzilla shoots an atomic laser beam.
Frickin' laser beam!
From his tail, much like he does his breath. His Godzilla, his atomic breath from his mouth. Shoots a laser beam from the tail. The picture's been floating around ever since the movie came out 5 days ago. So that's the only thing I'm going to talk about the movie. I'm not going to say nothing else other than, so that's why the tail looks like that. It looks like a lit cigar. He emits a beam from his tail. So that makes sense as far as the design. Once I found that information out, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I will say, as far as everything else goes that I do know about the film, the tail shooting the beam is kind of the only thing that just a little bit rubs me the wrong way. But I'm accepted it, I really am. It's not really bothering me as much anymore, because let's remember, Godzilla he's flown in Godzilla vs. Hedorah. He did tail drop kicks in Megalon. They flew him in outer space in a bubble, so it wasn't really under his control, but he was, they had him there. He was a magnet in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1974, so really, is the tail shooting a laser beam all that far-fetched? No, it's not. It's just different. So that looks, I really do like the way it looks. It's just disgusting looking, okay? Really disgusting looking. I like it. So the tag, okay, over here we got what was the teaser poster for the tag, the movie here, and it says Japan versus Godzilla on it. It says Godzilla 2016, and no longer do we have a licensing sticker on it. The licensing marking is now printed right on the tag, so you don't have to worry about losing your licensing sticker because it's not a sticker anymore, okay? On this side, we got a little bit more silhouette here of Godzilla's dorsal plates from Shin Godzilla. We got Shin Godzilla up here in Japanese. And then we have movie monster series right there, okay? Boom, that's the tag on the inside. You got your regular, typical mumbo-jumbo facts, contact information if you want to call Bandai and say, hey, you screwed up the arms. Ha! Okay? So, that's the figure, and I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to wrap it up. I really, really want to talk about the film. I'm going to try my damned best to wait until I can see the film entirely. I will tell you at this time, I do know pretty much how the whole movie plays out. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with knowing it because it's just going to be too damn hard to not have the film spoiled with social media. So I sought out to find out as much as I possibly can on the movie. And